Alright, let's get it, you guys. We'll do a little step-by-step process, doing some freehand Polynesian tribal. So here I am using a medium liner, doing a freehand Polynesian style with old school coil machine. Loyal to the coil? Sometimes. But that's a 5-round liner, standard needle with the AK irons. Voltage set at 4.5, 4.7. It's got a good return. Nice and smooth, using dynamic triple black. And we'll get into the patterns a little later. Yes, sir. So here I like to explain, like when I'm doing a pattern, I like to set myself up and pull all that directional lines at one time. It makes it very easy to keep the muscle memory when you're pulling the lines. So you kind of just run down the row and it keeps it all nice and uniform, same direction, same pull and everything. And then on this one, I'm gonna fill those in later, so having a little change in the line while I'm lining it is not a big problem. It's gonna make it a lot quicker for me to fill in when I get to that point. But we just keep the same uniformity pulling lines through it. So you kind of got that muscle memory set already and you just keep pulling through. So right here, you guys are gonna notice that I like to pull and push my lines. Sometimes it just feels better. Depends on how I'm sitting and how the flow of the tattoo is and how the person is sitting. A lot of variables can change up while you're tattooing, but I like to always keep my eye on that boxed edge for that needle, you know. Want to keep it clean. Pulling is very good. Pulling is recommended, but if you have to push, float and ease up a little bit. It's going to be a little bit better. You can also get away with using the same liner as a thinner line or a thicker line. You can kind of float, catch an edge, or if you go real lightly, it'll be a little bit thinner line, less bold, less saturated, and it'll give you that line weight difference without having to change your needle. Little tip and trick, you know. So here we are, you know. Of course, we jumped ahead a little bit. We're starting to shade in or color in. We're mostly saturating these thick lines. So we want to black them out and box out the edges. And this big 27 mag is a really good needle. I suggest paying attention because it's really easy to color out of the lines with this. But if you know how to use this, you can get an edge on this and make your lines super clean. So the location of this tattoo is right next to his armpit, coming around the back down into his ribs. Keep in mind that the ribs is a pretty painful spot, so the consistency of the needle not stopping it's really painful. Let's give a hand to our client here that's been sitting like a champ. A few little wibble wobbles here and there, but you can't help. It is in a painful spot and the diaphragm's right underneath it. So every time he takes a breath, he moves a little. But being a professional, you should be able to deal with that kind of movement. Here I'm using a 9 flat mag with the AK Irons color packer, and we're just boxing out those little squares, and we'll just keep moving right through. Okay, we're back to the medium liner, 5 round liner standard. We're gonna use it to color in all the small details and catch all the little corners and all the little unconnected lines and all the little holidays in between the black saturation that you see. This is what I like to call like the fine tuner at the very end. I call it a holiday check. Everybody hates the holiday check because your tattoo's already painful, it's already worked and it's sensitive. As soon as I start doing the holiday check, you can see the eyes get a little bit tearied up. No, just joking, just joking. But it is at the end of the tattoo where we do this. I would say second to the last stage of the finish. Back with the heavy shader, the 27 mag, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna lay really lightly. You don't put much pressure when you're doing this because you already worked that area, so you do a light pressure shading and it'll add a little bit of dimension. And of course it comes into play, drop shadows and highlights and whatnot, but we just like to give it one extra dimension. So a little bit of black shading or gray wash shading, and it really changes up the design into a little bit more 3D, and it has a really nice effect to the tattoo. I like it. It's part of the signature. So I hope this video really helped you guys. If you're curious on how a Polynesian tribal tattoo is done, or at least how I do my tribals. And normally we don't use coils as much as we used to. We like to use the new rotary style pen machines. They're pretty good, better on your hand, but it's just cooler when you use a coil, you know. It's got the good stuff. Got a little tips and tricks in this video, a little bit of patterns at the end of this video. Stay tuned. I'm gonna have a layout of what those patterns mean, so you guys aren't clueless onto what I've done. And if you guys are interested in getting one, hit me up and I'll make it happen. All power. Good job, brother. So pertaining to the meanings and the designs and the layout, patterns, you guys can check this book series out. It's pretty good, pretty on point. Many different nationalities in there, but we're all Polynesian, so good place to start if you guys are interested. Alright, let me know in the comments if you guys liked that video, if some of those tips might help, or maybe you guys could give me some tips. That would be pretty cool. You know, until next time.